Hello, I'm Eliane Ubalijoro. I'm the Executive Director of Sustainability in the Digital Age.
Eliane, again, thank you so much for speaking with me today. First, I'd like you to describe sustainability in the digital age and what it's seeking to achieve in maybe 1 minute or less.
Sustainability in the digital age leverages the digital age to drive transformative systems changes for a climate safe and sustainable and equitable world. So we operate under four main interrelated work streams: research and innovation, training and networks, policy, standards, and best practices, as well as collective foresight and intelligence.
Why did SDA choose Montreal for the location of its international headquarters? And what would you say are some of Montreal's top advantages for international organizations like yours?
First of all, Montreal is a great city. It's a multicultural city. It's a city with great food. It's a city with great entertainment. And Montreal is at the nexus of sustainability science and artificial intelligence expertise. So we have Yoshua Benjo and the MILA, the Montreal Institute for Learning Algorithms in Montreal. And so that's one of the top intelligence institutes in the world. So for us to be here and also to be at the same place where other headquarters, the United Nations CBD Convention on Biodiversity is here, Future Earth is based here, GeoBon is here, the Commission for Environmental Cooperation is here, the McGill Sustainability Systems Initiative is here. So we really feel that being here connects us to a lot of different institutions that are studying earth systems, climate change, biodiversity. We have access to 5 Quebec universities, various research institutes like Uranos. The provincial government is very engaged. I've already mentioned Mila. We also have access to institutes like Obvia that is looking at artificial intelligence on the ethical side. So it's really, we have Justicia at Université de Montréal that's also looking at ethics and artificial intelligence. It's a great place at the nexus of all of these places that and areas of research that are important to what we do.
What is the availability of talent in Montreal, international included, and how do you gauge Canada's immigration policies and programs, especially now with the new budget announcements to that effect?
One of the great things is the new budget announcement is very pro climate change research. So this is just going to increase our capacity to do more work in Canada for leadership at that interface of climate change and artificial intelligence. And it's really a great time to be here. So I really think the institutions I've listed and others like IVADO, like the International Center for Expertise in Montreal for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence, there are so many amazing institutions here to attract global talent willing to move, that are agile, that really want to be contributing to these 9 years before the 2030 SDG deadline arrives. And so this is a great time to be in Montreal. It's a great time for Canada to be attracting talent from all over the world. And these are all highly qualified personnel. So in terms of Canada's policies, in terms of Canada's desire to lead in research and innovation, these are all great assets that really allow us to make us attractive to talent, and also not only allow us to have attractive space for them to live in, but we also have new policies that are going to be more and more helpful for families with children. So it's also a very feminist agenda. So in terms of bringing greater equity to this space, I think Canada is very well positioned to attracting talent, to having the talent come here with their families and thrive on a personal and a professional basis.
Now, we often hear about supports for foreign investors, aka, private companies, multinationals, or otherwise. What about incentives or financial supports for international organizations, NGOs, to establish themselves in Montreal?
So I would say Montreal International is a stellar partner to help attract organizations to Montreal. They are really great at supporting organizations set office. They're very helpful in terms of helping organizations that move to Montreal network and meet other organizations. They also have training sessions in HR, workplace labor laws, public relations, a lot of different things, communication resources that really allow you, while you're establishing in Montreal, to have a lot of support. And also, whenever you have events, They're a great support to build the success on the event. And for us, we've been very happy because they've provided initial startup funding in 2015 when Future Earth came, and again in 2021 to expand with sustainability in the digital age. So this is critical to help, support staff and operations establishing themselves and fundraise. And this is very critical, especially for nonprofits like us who mainly function on project based funding, because it gives you a core budget that you can really use to ensure that you work on the best quality project submissions and you grow funding and you're able to keep staff and grow your team. So these are really helpful. And we've also benefited from Tourism Montreal in the past for events that we held. And we've also benefited from partnerships with McGill and MasterCard Foundation program. We've had interns that are funded by MasterCard Foundations. We've benefited from several federal programs to hire recent graduates and early career employees and to give them a chance in the workplace, and programs like the My Tax Accelerate program and funding from colleges and institutes in Canada have been all really helpful to grow our team.
How would you say Montreal's ethnic diversity and multilingualism impact its attractiveness as a destination for international organizations?
I think being a bilingual society is a huge advantage. I mean, that means whatever institutions, organizations that both work in English and French really can set themselves up and have hire staff that both speak English and French. And I also think the ethnic diversity in Montreal is reflected in the beautiful culinary and artistic communities that are available in the city. And so we really see this as very important to the diversity we want in terms of the richness of the types of intelligence that our team has, in terms of diversity that we are able to promote in terms of helping us with our global reach. It's really an amazing system. And we see this diversity not only on those levels of ethnic diversity and multilingualism, but also the richness of the landscape in terms of the digital capacities, the earth system science, the climate literacy, and science communication. So that all works together to make Montreal a really vibrant city beyond just the official languages and the diversity of voices, but also the diversity of scientific voices we have access to. And so we see this as really important.
How does the perception of Canada internationally, let's say the Canadian brand, factor into the decision to establish an organization in Montreal, in your opinion?
Canada has a great brand, and I think right now is a great time for Canada. We talked earlier a little bit about the budget. So I think it's a real important time for Canada to help lead the world in terms of COVID-19 global economic recovery. The budget is strong on how are we building green economies, technology-driven jobs with greater inclusion and diversity. And also, Canada is a member of the High Ambition Coalition for Nature and People. And that's an amazing initiative championing a global deal for nature and people. And this is about how do we protect 30% of the world's land and ocean by 2030. And so Canada is very bullish and has put forward $17.6 billion for green recovery with a goal of conserving 25% of the lands by 2025 and reaching the 30% by 2030. And we have 5 billion over 7 years, initiating this year, 21-22, for the Net Zero Accelerator, a program for fast tracking decarbonization projects. So Montreal is really an amazing place for us. And for our work, we really see this as an important place to showcase the Canadian brand, research, and innovation on the global stage. So one of the things we're part of is a coalition for digital environmental sustainability, and it's in support of the UN Secretary General's roadmap on digital cooperation. And we see ourselves in Montreal because of the amazing network of researchers here that it's a great place to be engaging with. And this is also the place we're engaging in dialogue series on the SDGs and digitalization. And so I really see that this is a great time for Canada. It's a great time for the brand Canada to help us accelerate a global deal for nature and people. And so I see the budget we have, the leadership, and the science will lead us where we need to go and help the whole planet.
Those would be perfect closing remarks, but I just want to ask you a final question. What is the future of SDA in Montreal and Canada?
One of the things for us is expanding our research, expanding the scope of work we do. So we launched a Montreal statement on sustainability in the digital age, and we have a number of signatories around Montreal. And so what we are looking to do is to grow a new social contract for the digital age that includes everyone, to help accelerate open and transparent access to data and knowledge, to grow prosperous economies that respect privacy of people. And we also see that public private collaborations are going to be very critical in the digital age to help us do the work needed so sustainability helps us achieve the sustainable development goals by 2030. And it's Montreal, it's a great place for research and innovation. So we look at our work growing at that interface. And so this is very important for us because we also see that targeted communication is really important to accelerate digital and climate literacy locally and globally. And so we are looking to engaging and educating so we have a climate literate and digital literate world, and so we can accelerate the agendas related to digitalization and sustainability.